Hey traders, Gavin McMaster here from Options Trading IQ, doing a video collaboration with Barchart. And today we're looking at the power of trading seasonality. Just a quick reminder that everything discussed is for educational purposes only, is general in nature, and does not take into account your personal circumstances. So did you know that markets often follow predictable patterns during specific times of the year? These patterns, known as seasonality, can give traders a powerful edge. Today, we'll dive into the world of trading seasonality, what it is, why it matters, and how you can use it to your advantage. We'll also look at Barchart's new seasonality data. Let's get started. So what is trading seasonality? Seasonality refers to recurring trends in asset prices that align with specific times of the year, month, or week. It's a phenomenon driven by economic events, investor behavior, and industry cycles. Examples include the famous sell in May and go away, the Santa Claus rally in December, or commodity price movements tied to weather patterns. Seasonality can improve timing. It helps you identify ideal entry and exit points, enhance risk management by avoiding unfavorable periods or adjusting your exposure. It can reveal sector opportunities. Certain sectors perform better at specific times, like retail in December or energy in the summer. So what drives seasonal trends? Several factors create these predictable trends. Economic cycles such as earnings reports and fiscal policies follow predictable calendars. Investor psychology, for example, end-of-year tax loss harvesting and holiday optimism influence behavior. And industry-specific trends. So think of summer travel, driving up airline stocks, or winter heating demands boosting energy. How to identify seasonal patterns. Spotting seasonal patterns involves a mix of historical analysis and modern tools. Use Barchart's new seasonal returns data to identify seasonal tendencies. We'll take a look in a second. Combine patterns with fundamental analysis to validate the trade idea. For example, gold prices often rise in January due to Chinese New Year demand and safety-seeking investors. So heading over to barchart.com, we're on the gold ETF page here. And if we go down here under technicals and we can head to seasonal returns. So we get a great view of the past 14, 15 years here of all the monthly returns for GLD. And we can see a pretty clear trend that January is one of the strongest months, as we talked about. Maybe that has to do with the Chinese New Year. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but you can see here some pretty significant positive returns in January, also positive returns in August, and September and November being the worst months. Then we can scroll down to the bottom and have a look at the summary as well. And again, we're getting a view of our averages here, the number of positive months versus the number of negative months. So we can see January is very good. And also here, that must be July and December, also strong positive returns and a high number of negative returns in September. So that's really interesting data that we can use to potentially create a little bit of an edge when we're trading GLD. It might not necessarily be the sole reason for entering a trade, but it could form part of the overall picture when you're deciding what strategy to look at on GLD. Good idea to just come in and check the seasonal patterns here and see if there's anything that stands out that might validate or invalidate your trading idea. Let's look at another example on Target. So again, some pretty clear seasonal trends that we're seeing here with some very strong returns in November, possibly in the lead up to Christmas in anticipation of some strong retail sales numbers. And also really interestingly, July, I'm not really sure what would be the reason for this, but very, very high average return. And we've only actually got one negative month in the past 15 years in July. And you can see there's some really strong returns for Target during July. Maybe it's earnings driven. I guess they'd be reporting earnings around that time. Not entirely sure the reason, but looking at the data, that's a very, very strong seasonal trend that we can use to our advantage. And we're much more likely and putting the probabilities in our favor doing a bullish trade leading into July on Target. And if we scroll down, again, we can see here July, 93% positive months. And November was also a strong return, 53% positive. And February has a high level of positive returns, February, March as well. Looks to be a pretty strong period for Target. Let's have a look at an energy stock. So Halliburton is a good one. And we can see here the period October through to February is very, very strong. We've got really high average returns in October, November, pretty decent in December, and really strong in January as well. If we check out the overall positive returns in those months as well, that's looking very, very strong. And also in January and Feb, very strong. And then we've got some weaker months here in May, August, and September with negative returns, and particularly August with only 20% positive returns, and May with only 30% positive returns. So some very interesting data there on Halliburton. Let's look at one last example on the NASDAQ. We can see pretty clearly that September historically is the worst month. So we've typically seen a lot of corrections in September. Again, not entirely sure why that could be, but there's some pretty clear trends. July, interestingly, very, very strong. We've only seen one negative return in the last 15 years, and that's the highest average annual return. And really the main thing here is that sort of November through to March is typically a very, very strong period in the market, very strong period for tech stocks, as we can see here. High percentage of positive returns across those months as well. So how can you trade seasonality? So now that you've identified seasonal patterns, let's discuss how to capitalize on them with specific strategies. The first one is trend following. So you can ride known trends like the S&P 500 strong quarter, or as we looked at tech stocks in that November through to February, March period. And we saw a really good example on Target as well. Sector rotation, so shift between sectors based on their seasonal strengths, such as energy in summer or retail in December. And we can use option strategies as well. So using options to profit from trends while limiting risk, like buying calls on commodities during seasonal rallies, or even buying call options or doing bullish call spreads on tech stocks in early November with sort of a February, March expiration date, and really putting the odds in your favor, having the probability work on your side during that historically positive period for tech stocks. We can also use hedging strategies to protect against seasonal underperformance with protective puts or reduced exposure. So that September period for tech stocks has historically been very weak, a high number of negative months and an overall negative performance in September. So heading towards mid to late August, we might want to think about adding in some hedging strategies with options, using long puts or put spreads on our tech stocks rather than potentially selling underlying tech stocks or NASDAQ ETF positions in our portfolio, triggering capital gains tax potentially. It can be a good idea to add some hedging strategies with options around that time. What are some of the risks of trading seasonality? While it's a powerful indicator, it's not always foolproof. So watch out for deviations. Past patterns obviously don't guarantee future results. Again, we're putting the odds in our favor, but it doesn't guarantee success. And over-reliance. So as I said, using seasonality as a tool, but not your only decision-making factor. So use it to validate or invalidate a trade idea that you've already got, rather than using it as a standalone reason for trading. Volatility can be a factor as well. So short-term swings can disrupt even strong seasonal trends. For instance, the NASDAQ typically rallies in January, but an unexpected rate hike could flip the script. So we've got to keep an eye on our economic calendar as well and understand what's happening in the market and what are the news items of the day. So how to succeed with seasonality. Here are 3 tips to trade seasonality successfully. Combine it with other analyses. Use technical indicators and fundamentals to validate your trades. Set stop losses. Protect against unexpected moves by using your stop losses. Focus on high confidence patterns. Prioritize trends with a strong historical track record and clear drivers. In conclusion, seasonality can be a game changer for traders who understand and use it wisely. By identifying recurring patterns and aligning them with broader market conditions, you can make smarter, more profitable decisions. Make sure you head over to barchart.com and check out their seasonal returns data. Do you want more insights like this? Hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what seasonal trend are you trading next. Thanks for watching and have a great day.